Hi everyone, this is Hillary Ellers and I'm coming to you from Lightworks Studio. This is lesson number 25 and I'm so excited. Half a year here we have been offering teaching. Today we're going to begin looking at energy and vibration. And part of what I feel is most important about this topic, and what I want to help you know, what I want to help you experience and learn about, is that all energy is one energy. That literally, there are sayings in metaphysics that everything is one. And my sense is what that means is that the substance of who we are, what we're about, the substance of creation in terms of all the form we see around us, all the form we experience, is all composed of the same energy or the same stuff. I think of it as having made a big batch of cream-colored icing, and then taking that icing and dividing it up and putting food coloring in different batches so that some of the icing is red, some is green or blue, purple, but we know that it is really all the same stuff. And in life, what I'd like you to begin to conceive of is that everything is the same energy, just vibrating at a slightly different rate so that it takes on its own individual form and its own individual makeup. So all of creation is an immense sea of energy. And just think of that first of all. Just see if you can sort of get that feeling of this immense, immense sea of energy. The energy vibrates along a continuum from very, very slow vibration, gradually speeding up, and becoming faster and faster vibration. But it is the same sea. There are demarcation points along the continuum so that the energy is actually sort of clustered in groupings. And up to a certain point, one grouping is formed, and it has certain characteristics. Right where that first grouping ends, the second grouping of energy begins, and it has different characteristics, and a third, and a fourth, and a fifth, and a sixth. And from our perspective, there are 7 dimensions of energy. And we've talked about these. There are different ways to define these groupings of energy. We talk about them as dimensions or planes, like the physical dimension, the etheric dimension, the lower astral, the upper astral, the causal dimensions, the lower and upper causal, and the spiritual dimensions, the lower and upper spiritual dimensions. In metaphysics, there are all kinds of names for these different dimensions. And I have said this for you to know and to think about, that the names are not so important. I may call the second dimension up from the physical, I may call it etheric, or I may call it astral, but it doesn't matter the name that it is given, because in different schools of study, names are different. Yet, what is important is that the actuality of these groupings of energy, and that each of these groupings has its own particular characteristics. So, groupings are considered dimensions and defined as dimensions. There are colors that coordinate with these groupings, and therefore there are colors that coordinate with the dimensions. The physical is thought to coordinate with the color red. And what I'd like you to think about is that the color red has actual parameters of vibratory rate. And those parameters of the color red are the same as the parameters of the physical dimension. And even though all the 7 colors exist within the physical dimension, each one of the 7 colors vibrates at a slightly different rate and will carry your consciousness to a slightly different place. So we have the 7 dimensions, the 7 colors. We have 7 different qualities of consciousness. We have 7 chakras. There are many more minor chakra points, but we have 7 major chakra points. We have 7 glands within our bodies that are stimulated by these 7 energies. We have 7 regions of the body which connect with all this. And we have brainwave activity. Our brainwave activity also coordinates. So think of it, like we've got a lot of connections here. There are even more, really. We have 7 continents. We have 7 constellations. In our world, there are lots of hookups through these 7 energy bands. So observe the chart that comes with this lesson, and this chart demonstrates just what I'm talking about right now, about the 7 groupings of energy and the different things that line up with those 7 groupings. In a way, we could say the phenomena of those 7. And once again, remember that all energy in this entire chart is really the same energy, and the phenomena that makes it different is simply caused by the rate of vibration that the energy is moving in. And so, for instance, the difference between orange and blue is actually the rate of vibration of the light. Isn't that amazing when you think of it? That vibration creates the phenomena of all the different worlds, and that the ingredient of all these worlds is the same. I hope that makes sense. You know, truths like this can be heard, we can think about them, but to really get it, it takes a while for our brains to really be able to click in to this kind of concept. It's not easy to perceive. And I think part of this is because creation is so magnificent, it's so large, that it in many ways goes beyond our brain power. And sometimes I think some things are known more by faith than by intellect. That you may just accept, okay, I accept this. I don't really completely understand it. And it's also totally okay if you don't accept it. And you know, I've always said, accept what you can, and what you don't accept, hold aside and give it time for your consciousness to become familiar with. And you may end up accepting it later. There are lots of things that I accept now that I didn't believe at one time. And the idea of portals, you know, that there are these points in which a person or an energy can move from one dimension to another, that there are points like tubes, you might call them, hallways from one dimension to another. And I heard of this, and I just didn't believe it. I don't know quite how I thought things were connected, but I did not believe in portals. And I saw a show one time on ancient aliens, and the show, you know, it's almost like a travel channel or something if you ever watch it. They're great shows because they photograph so many parts of the world, and so many historical things are photographed. And on this show there was a wall, and in the wall there was this indentation, and the commentator was saying, and this is the portal where the shaman would go from one dimension to another. And I looked at it, you know, and I thought, baloney, you know, nah. And I think now I can understand that a lot more, and just believe it when I didn't. So hold things lightly, you know. Don't throw them in the garbage can too quickly. Kind of hold them up here. I always say put them on the shelf instead of the garbage can. So all energy is one energy. It's the same ingredient, simply vibrating at a different rate, and that different vibration causes the phenomena that makes things appear to be different. When people are highly intuitive, they can feel the vibratory rate. And for instance, qualities have vibration. Everything has a vibration, everything. But let's just say honesty. Honesty has a certain vibration. When you become familiar with that vibration, you know honesty by its vibration. You become familiar with what the vibration of honesty feels like. And for people who are highly intuitive, they are able to feel the vibration of honesty. And honesty has a different feeling than is deceit. I almost said conceit. That's true too, but in this case, what I'm referring to is that honesty has a different vibratory rate than deceit, and it feels different. So, by its vibratory rate alone, you can feel that honesty is one thing and deceit is another. So for people who are highly intuitive, those of us who are, begin to learn what the vibratory rate of everything is and what that vibratory rate feels like. So by its vibration, actually, we know it. And but it's not really an analytical process, this knowing. It's not like I'm analyzing this frequency. It's more a feeling. I am feeling this frequency. And we may not think of it as a frequency. We just think of it as an energy. But the frequency is the energy stamp, so to speak, of whatever we are referring to. So any energy can be felt. And these groupings that energy clusters into are natural. They're part of creation, and they are a natural attribute of how energy acts and reacts. There is an invention which demonstrates this whole philosophy of energy groupings. And the invention is I'm not sure I'll say this correctly, so I'll spell it for you too. A Chladni plate, but it's spelled CHLATNI. The Chladni plate is an invention which there is a metallic plate and sound waves are projected to this metallic plate. So the metallic plate vibrates. Sand is sprinkled on top of the plate, the metal plate. And when sound is projected to the plate, the sand literally, amazingly, miraculously takes a geometric form. It actually does. I've seen videos of this, and videos of this are available for you to see, and it's mind-boggling and mind-blowing, in my opinion. As the sound changes, let's say the sound starts out at a low pitch, and gradually the sound is raised to higher and higher pitch. There are certain points in which the geometric shape, and it's kind of shaking anyway because the sound vibration are causing the metal plate to shake. So even though there is a geometric form in the sand, it's shaking a bit. But at a certain point, naturally, the shape lurches and jerks and changes form. And then again, at a certain point, this will happen. And it happens over and over. And the higher the pitch, the more complicated the geometric form. The lower the pitch, the simpler the form. And, you know, to me, this is a reflection of the different dimensions and the different groupings of energy that the form holds through one grouping. But when the sound vibration changes to a different grouping, the geometric form shifts. I believed in all this totally, but when I saw the video of it, it kind of made me dizzy. It was like, it was so startling to my eyes to actually see a demonstration of a metaphysical law that it just sort of blew my mind. And I remember I was at a workshop that Greg Braden taught, and he likes a lot of scientific things, and he had a video of this, and he showed other things that were very interesting in this workshop as well, other videos. And by lunchtime, when it was time for the lunch break, I honestly had trouble walking. I really did, because my mind was just so amazed at the things I was seeing, even though I believed them and already believed in them. But to see it actually demonstrated did something. It was like some kind of stimuli to my thinking that called for an adjustment, and making that adjustment was affecting me literally, even on a physical level. So I'd like you to begin to be more aware of these groupings of energy, and I would like you to just pay attention more to how you perceive the groupings. So let's do a small guided meditation. Just begin now by allowing your body to let down and take a nice breath and begin to feel your physical body relaxing. Know that wherever your body is tight, wherever your body is painful, that is a place in which your energy is blocked or out of balance. And as you meditate, your physical energy can rebalance. Begin now to step into your physical body more completely. As you step into your body, feel what it feels like to breathe. Feel what it feels like to breathe. And in this moment, feel how good it feels to breathe. Every incoming breath is bringing a soothing wave of relaxation through your entire body. Feel your body relaxing. Feel your muscles letting down, your muscles growing longer, your shoulders dropping. All of the tension is flowing out and away from you. Every incoming breath is bringing a soothing wave of relaxation. Every outgoing breath carries all of the tension, all of the stress of the day out and away from you. From this deeply relaxed place, you are now connected with greater awareness. You are connected to your entire being. From this deeply aware place, let yourself imagine that you can feel the vibration of honesty. And just feel that honesty feels a certain way to you. And just feel what honesty feels like when you encounter it. You may not analyze it, but you do feel it. Now allow yourself to imagine that you can feel dishonesty. Let yourself feel dishonesty and feel your reaction. Do you feel guarded? Did you shut down? Was there any kind of shift in your body? And realize now that you can feel honesty because it vibrates and has a different vibration than dishonesty, that they actually feel different to you. And let yourself realize that everything you perceive, you know through its vibration. Just begin to open to that reality. You can begin to feel other things. Feel love. Just feel what love feels like. And in this moment, begin to feel anger or dislike. and feel how different that feels compared to love. If you are angry with someone or dislike someone, feel how different those feelings are. Let yourself realize that you know everything by its feeling as you feel it. And that you will learn more and more about all these different energies you feel. And now gradually begin to return. And just bring with you the experience you have had. Just bring with you all the experience you have had. And allow yourself to return to your surface level of consciousness. When you're back, you can begin to stretch or move or open your eyes. So what I'd like you to hold in this is that you're actually picking up on the actual frequency of energy. And you already, you see, realize and recognize certain vibrational patterns. You've already done that. And you can, through your awareness of doing that, begin to learn more and more about the different energy you recognize. Write about it in your journal and experiment with it some. Just play around with this. Thank you so much. Take care.